Guys, have you seen this movie? Check it out.
Kept trying to make things work until I couldn't anymore, and I decided to come back home. You should have come home sooner, sis. You should have. We would have figured things out. You and I made the perfect team. Have you forgotten? But it's not too late. Now that you're here, I'll help you get back on your feet. Okay?
Bimbo Ademoye has done it again. Her new movie, Mirror and Reflection, is a beautiful one. I want to give her a beautiful kudos for starring three different twins for three different parts in the span of 30 years. I mean, she had to do this reoccurrence 3 times and she used a set of twins 3 times. 3 different twins. That was good detailing, that was perfect concentration, and I mean, that was so much, and I love that about her. She didn't have to make something feel like it wasn't, right? Perfect. And then moving on to the cast, the storyline, cinematography, sound, everything. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. Bimbo, take all your flowers. So now let's get straight into the movie. The movie was centered around a set of twins and their mom. They grew up together, doing everything together, going to the same school. One was a troublesome person, the other one was calm. How twins are always, I mean, we had Ifeoluwa and Ifedayo. I think it's something that is normal with twins. There's always a calm person and there's always one that doesn't take nonsense, right? Yeah, we had that. And their mom, who tried so much to take care of them and bring them up. They did so many things together as kids, went to the same school, but at the point when they had to go to university, they had to split ways. One went to Ife, the other one went to Unilag. But at some point, one of them had an opportunity to travel abroad, and now there was a gap between them for about 10 years. They didn't see each other. One person was doing very well, the other person wasn't doing very well. I mean, so there was a time they had to do a reunion. They came back home together, and let's say life happened. I don't want to spoil this movie. I'm trying as much as possible not to spoil this movie so you can enjoy it if you've not seen it yet. Now, moving on, life takes a bad turn, not a good turn. Life takes a bad turn, and one of the twins died, and the other person had to do an impersonation. Now, I would have been very pissed if the first day at work went well without anybody noticing, because I mean, it's a law firm. We're talking about lawyers. They should have attention to every detail. And I love how Sonia Uche played her role. That was beautiful delivery. Not too much, not too small, but perfect. And also, that's the kind of friend that people should have. In your presence, in your absence, your friend should be able to take good decisions and still back you up no matter what. So yeah, Sonia Uche delivered her role 10 over 10 minus nothing. So yeah, and then she had the friend to support her, and the story just went around doing that. I like that she couldn't go on with that impersonation all through. I like that once in a while she would slip up and forget herself as Ifedayo and bring in Ifeoluwa and quickly remember herself and go back to being Ifedayo. I like how not only her friend noticed it, someone else notices. Let's also talk about Lai Wasabi and being a serious person in this movie. No, we are used to barrister, Esquire, you can inquire. You know, that's the kind of vibe we're used to. But this time around, he was a serious lawyer and he delivered his role. But I've seen a couple of comments talking about how he wasn't supposed to do it. Nah, he did. It is just the perspective of him you have on your head that is dealing with that particular character. But yeah, let's leave Lai. Let's move back to the story. And so we went from having to impersonate your sister and to winning cases. After she was able to scale and, you know, she started going through, of course, her sister was a good lawyer, which meant she had to deal with some cases. She had murder cases and some other ones to deal with. Her friend helped her through this, which just showed authenticity. You cannot always do this. You cannot wear shoes that you really never knew anything about, even if you're very smart and you're trying to portray the photographic memory thing. And I think she got that idea from Hollywood movies, but I love how she infused it in the movie. Anyways, it was okay to know that it was just realistic. You can't just step into a field where you know nothing about and think because you are smart, you can do it. But she had help from her friend and she read, which also shows that whatever it is you put your mind to, it can actually work. So yeah, that movie was just like a summary of everything that happened in the movie. It was a good one. It was about 2 hours long, and I felt like All the scenes were necessary. I felt like some other scenes were needed. Like the fact where she started driving immediately after the accident, I don't think that was normal. I feel like she could have gone through some kind of trauma, been stayed away from the wheel for a while. But I think the movie was getting too long, so they couldn't portray scenes like that. Also, her mom not reacting to her going to impersonate her sister, not wanting to mourn her. I don't think that was really realistic. At some point, I felt she should have carried her mom along with everything. Eventually, she did. She went home to reconcile with her mom, but I was like at the tail end. So I feel those were the only two situations I felt like should have been infused in the movie, but were not. But apart from those scenes, they were perfect. I also like how they infused adverts and brands into it. It was bold, but it wasn't unnecessary. It wasn't too loud. Everything was coordinating. She was doing her PR, she was doing brand deals, but it wasn't loud and out of place. It was needed and it was perfect. It was really smooth. I like that transition. Really, really smooth. And now let's go to the outfits. I like that they did not compromise. It is a law firm and it was actually giving bourgeois. You know those bougie sisters? Love it. And I liked how they infused brands and how she just talked about so many things. According to her, I saw a post where she made that every outfit she wore for that movie were Nigerian brands and they were good. Lovely, lovely, lovely. Love their outfits, love cinematography. Their sound audio wasn't too much, but let's just leave it at average. And acting was 10 over 10. I don't think anybody did anything that wasn't supposed to be done. And I don't think anybody was underacting at any point. The emotions, the delivery, everything was perfect. This movie is really, really lovely. I mean, 1 hour into the movie, that's when the drama actually started. And at some point, I'm like, why are we delayed? It was actually predictable. Yes. The moment the sister died, I knew she was going to step into her shoes and become the lawyer and everything. I knew it. It was very obvious. Like we could just predict that this was going to happen, right? And I would have been really pissed if she was able to impersonate her 100% without anybody knowing. The fact that Lai caught her, perfect. The fact that Sonia caught her, perfect. In fact, I felt like even Osas, who was her boss, and other people should have also known about the situation. But it's okay that we left it at Sonia and Lai. Perfect. It was authentic. It was authentic and it was very, very predictable. It was something that we knew that would have happened eventually. But the moral of this movie just shows that you can do what you have to do, and you can do what you put your mind to do. That's the word. And that you shouldn't run away from your fears because you think that some things don't work for you, because you think you're not good enough for some things, doesn't mean you should run away from it. Whatever it is that is worth doing is worth doing well, and you are able and you have the ability to actually do things and do them properly. So that's basically the summary of all of this, of the movie, Mirrors and Reflection. I'd highly recommend, and I think we at Relufe TV will be rating the movie a 7 over 10. Very good to go. It's something you should see. It's something you should see. Don't miss it. There's so many other actions that you don't want to just, I don't want to do spoiler for you, but please go and see that movie. Thank you so much, and I'll see you next time during another review. Bye.